Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Attempted Optimism, where we are just trying our very best. I'm Justin.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Brian.
And Brian is with us this week. Brian is my brother-in-law, Ben's brother-in-law, and he's joining us for a special edition of the podcast this week. As you know, last week, if you listen in, the audio was very screwed up, and we recorded a
It's
whole
Ben's fault.
episode.
It was all 100% Ben's
I'm
fault.
trying to be optimistic, but you're going to push me to the limit here.
I came here just to take the blame. They said they needed someone to pin the blame on, so they're going to blame Brian.
We need a scapegoat.
This is our audio guy. He totally screwed up everything. No, not really. We don't know what happened with the audio. It's a computer issue on my part. And so we recorded a whole hour-long episode, and it was only one-sided. It sounded like I was talking to myself, which is very depressing. So this week we decided to do something a little bit more fun, and we are going to play a game of two truths and a lie. And that's why Brian's here. He's joining us as a third to make this more exciting, a little bit more fun. And we're also going to be recording this episode. So we're going to throw it up on YouTube. So if you want to watch our faces and our reactions as we play this game, we're going to put that up on YouTube, and it should be enjoyable. So we are going to jump in, and I'm going to let Justin start us off on the rounds. And the way we're going to do this is the person will give their two truths and a lie, and then the other two will get 1 minute to ask questions to grill that person on what they think maybe is the lie in the group, and we'll see how this goes. So, Justin, you want to start us off on round one?
Yeah, absolutely. And Ben's going to adjudicate it. So anytime there's, like with the timer and everything, Ben's going to be the one to say what's what on that. So round one, we kind of went with a music theme. And so I said that I wrote mine in a specific order, but you may not want to keep it in a specific order. I don't know if you already thought of that, but I wrote it in a line: truth, truth, lie, truth, lie, truth, lie, because my brain's messed up, I guess. And so I'm going to do my very best to put them out of order and stuff like that. So,
now we know the theme.
That's right. For round one, my brother got kicked in the leg by Trace Adkins. I was never into the boy band phase, and I have a secret passion for electronic dance music.
Wow.
So out of those, what's the truth and what is the lie?
All right, I'm going to start our minute. Brian, you want to take first jab at any of these? Any of them feel off to you?
How old was your brother when Trace Adkins allegedly kicked him?
Let's see. So that was probably when we were 17 years old.
17. Okay.
Both of you were 17? Are you guys the same age? I should know more about you before. Okay, great.
Yeah.
See, that throws it off for me because I don't know his twin brother at all. How about name me an EDM band?
An EDM band?
Or
Martin Garrix.
I'm sorry, what?
Martin Garrix.
Garrix.
Okay, see, that didn't help me because I don't know anything about EDM.
That checks out. That checks out.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, checks out. Google it real quick.
We got like 15 seconds. What was
the middle one? I forget.
The other one was I was never into the boy band phase.
I don't think anyone was into the boy band phase. Who was your favorite boy band if you had to pick one?
If I had to pick one, I'd say it would have to be Backstreet Boys.
Okay, we're out of time on questions.
I got to go with the boy band one. I just don't think that
one.
I don't think he would. I don't think his brother would have been into the boy band phase either.
The statement is I was never into the boy band phase.
Yeah, I don't think you were into it either.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with that one as well because I don't know. Your brother very easily could have been kicked in the shin or leg or whatever you said by Trace Adkins. That's, I guess, believable. I don't know.
Or it could have been him. I feel like he could have changed it.
Yeah.
All right,
just enough.
Let's go with the boy bands.
Okay, boy bands you're thinking is the lie?
Yeah.
That is correct. That's the lie. So okay. I do have a secret passion for EDM.
Yeah.
My brother did get kicked in the leg in Nashville at a Predators game by Trace Adkins. Yeah. The dude's a freaking giant.
Was it like an accident or was it like a purposeful?
Yeah, it was an accident.
Oh, okay.
He's right. I guess he's a nice guy, but I don't think he realized. So like the dude, well, he never acknowledged it. Like My brother and I had like a vendetta against Trace Adkins for, I don't know, years or so to come after this because it was
at a... in the shin. Kicked his brother.
Well, he kicked my brother in the shin. Yeah. So because he's like 6'6" or something. And so he just like has a huge gait, I guess. And we were all walking out of the stadium. You know how stadiums are packed after sports games. And he just got whacked right in the shin by a huge cowboy boot, and it was Trace Adkins.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually impressed we got that because I was not sure, honestly.
Yeah.
That could have very easily been a lie.
Right.
All right. Brian, why don't you go for us?
Okay. This is my least favorite category. I'll preface that at least.
They're all lies.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Here we go. I have gone on a nationwide tour with a band.
Okay.
I am currently keeping a top albums of the year list. And I have been in 5 individual rock bands in my life.
See, this is
you are muted.
This is
my
hard
friend.
Because I know Brian, and I know him well enough to know that this is a person who would keep a top albums of the year list because that's something he would do.
He's a list guy?
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like this is a dude who's like can date back the years of when he's like, remember when I introduced you to We Came as Romans back in 2013? And you're like,
you introduced me to We Came as Romans.
Okay, well, see, that's
that came
my
from
point.
your...
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. But the other two I don't know because I know he's been in bands. And I even want to say he's been on a tour. And so I don't know. Justin, you want to throw anything? You want to ask any questions?
So the questions, you went on a nationwide tour with who?
It was one of the bands that I've been in. One of the allegedly 5 bands. The name of the band at the time was Fervor. And we poured all of our money into this RV to take us nationwide, to take us across the country.
Okay. Who is the top 3 of the list?
It's funny. Top 3 of what list? Of the bands that I've been in?
Yeah.
No.
Top 3 of the list. What was it?
Top
the bands
albums.
that you
Top
albums. That's what it was.
Oh, the current top 3. Am I allowed to look at my list?
5 seconds left, so but we'll let him finish.
You gotta make it up.
I'm gonna. Yeah, that's right. Halsey's on the list for her new album.
I feel it.
Yeah. I don't need to hear
who else is on the list.
That was true.
Yeah.
All right.
Just for myself. Hold on.
Okay.
So
the current top 3 are Halsey, Mac Miller, and 4 Years Strong.
I believe
those are the top 3 at the moment.
Because I've heard you talk about that list before.
So
not the list specifically, but the people on it or the albums on it.
We have to pick now. We can't ask any more questions.
I kind of gave away that one's true.
I would also say that I think Brian is the sly type of person that it would not be the statements that are false. It would be little pieces of the statements that are false. And so what I'm going to say is that he wasn't in 5 different bands. He was in some other number of bands.
See, I was thinking the exact same thing, but then he went on this story about purchasing an RV, and that could be true, but I've never heard that story, and I'm going to be upset if he has been keeping that story from me.
How many bands do you think he's been in? Do you think he's been in 5?
I think so, because he's been in a lot of like different bands at different times, and like he also, I think him and his brother used to work at like a radio station or something, so I can see that like you could meld into different bands. So I'm gonna go with the RV story. I don't think that's true, but you can go with whatever you want. I mean, it's up to you.
I'm sticking to my instinct. I don't think he was in 5 bands. I think he was in a different number of bands.
Okay, Brian.
The lie is that I didn't go on a nationwide tour.
No.
Yes. Yes.
So I almost did exactly what you said. I was going to give you kudos for just changing the number of how many bands, but I kind of hate 2 truths and a lie where you change just one little detail.
Yeah, it's a little cheaty.
This is the truth, but I gave you a wrong number. What an idiot.
Yeah.
The tour with the band, my band literally did buy the RV, literally did pour all of our money into it to get set. But I was set to go to college, and my parents were just adamantly against like me taking a freshman year off from going to college. And so they like forbid me to go on the tour, and so I had to drop out of the band to not go on the tour. So I literally did every step up to going on a nationwide tour, but I didn't.
I feel like I would have heard about that.
Yeah.
Still, I'm a little disappointed. I've never heard that you even were considering that, and we'll talk later, okay?
And also, I need you to put a link in the Discord, and then we need to put a link in our wherever this podcast ends up to your list. We need that list out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to get other people to sign on to do it. I actually know a guy. His name is Josh Mays. I'll blow up his spot because they have a yearly music summit that every year him and his friends do this. They put together a PowerPoint slide of their top albums of the year.
That's cool.
And they get together and they just like present them as like, this is the best albums. But with all the crap that's been happening this year and just how rough this year's started, the one thing that I've taken solace in is music. And there's been some great music in 2020. So I was like, I'm starting this effing list. Like, let's go. Let's do this.
Love it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Is it my turn?
It's you, my friend.
Okay.
Round one.
So this is, again, music themed. So first one, I was in a musical based on Noah's life. Noah from the Bible. Noah's life. Number two, I once got a rating at a choir competition without actually singing my piece. And the third one, I learned how to play the flute in middle school to impress a girl. So
that's 100% true. That's got to be true.
So I'm going to start the clock. Give me a second.
All
right, go ahead.
You're a desperate little guy.
Give me that first one back again.
The first one, I was in a musical based on Noah's life.
What role did you have in this musical?
One of the sons. I couldn't even tell you which son.
One of the sons.
One of the sons.
Ham, Sham, or
Pastor?
Japheth? So you didn't have anything
Ham,
to do.
Shem, Japheth. One of those. I think.
No!
I want to say I was Ham. Let's just go.
Ham,
with Ham.
Shem, Jabbat.
Let's go with Ham. That's who I was.
Okay, so you were Ham in this musical Noah.
You would be.
Okay, all right. The flute. Do you remember the girl's name? You don't have to blow up her scene. I'm curious of a yes or no. You know the girl?
I do know the girl.
Are you still in contact with her?
I still have her on Facebook, but no, not really.
Okay.
I mean, we're still Facebook friends. We went to school through elementary all the way to middle school, maybe high school, and then she moved to a different school.
Because I was gonna make you pull a name, but I don't want that
I
for you.
have the name.
Give it.
Tilly, Brian.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Yeah.
Tilly from Owu?
All right, you're out of time. Out of time. That was
He said, "Oh no, we're not going any
that was
further."
your 1 minute and 6 seconds. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So which one?
Sheesh, the girlfriend one I think is just true. That's 100% true.
So
First of all, that's hurtful. And
That's everything I know
I resemble that
about
remark,
Ben.
Okay.
You resemble that remark? I gotta go with Ham. I think Ham's the lie. I don't think you were in a musical Noah. I think you were in a musical something else, like Joseph, Coat of Many Colors, or something like that.
He probably watched it.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, it was a different musical altogether. I'm gonna go with Brian on this one. It was the Noah. That's the lie.
I think the vocal rating one is funny because it's one of those things. It's like I got sick, but somehow I still got my medal or my ribbon or whatever. You know, I just wasn't
participation trophy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're wrong. I did not learn the flute in middle school to impress a girl. Didn't happen.
You knew what we would pick.
Disrespectful that you guys would treat me this way, but
not at all. You know what's up.
I was in a musical based on Noah's life, and I don't remember really any of it. What I do remember is that I couldn't remember my lines from my song, so I put the sheets on stage. The problem was I couldn't wear my glasses during the musical, so I couldn't see the page. So I just had to go for it. Just really push forward with the song, whether I knew it or not. And then I did get a choir. I did get they gave me. I couldn't remember the choir rating system, but I got second from the top, like a 2 or something, or a B. I don't know how that goes. And it's because they felt bad for me because I got so nervous when I walked in there to sing my solo. I started crying, and they just gave me the rating. And the third one, I did what you guys hate, and I appreciate that. I actually learned the violin to impress
I was going to say, you learned a different... The reason I didn't question flute is Sarah played the flute for a minute.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so I thought maybe that you just picked up her flute when you were trying to learn it. I knew that the instrument was in the house, so I thought...
Yeah, absolutely. So no, I learned the violin
And that's why I went with Brian, that insider information.
Absolutely. I mean, you're close. I mean, you're not wrong.
Go inside baseball.
It was
All right.
somewhat true. All right, next category. And what was the next category, Justin?
Next category is going to be childhood, or it could be embarrassing stories from the past, that kind of thing. I think most of us probably went with childhood or growing up kind of thing. So mine are going to be pretty bizarre, so buckle up.
Oh, here we go.
Me and some friends started a bare knuckle boxing ring in the school parking lot, the high school parking lot, at night. It doesn't get better. I once got back in school suspension. A kind of a domino effect. I once peed on the side of the school hallway while making eye contact with the teacher.
Okay, I'm going to start with the clock.
Good luck.
First question. When you started this bare knuckle fighting thing at night, school parking lot, what school was that at?
That was at Ocean Springs High School in Biloxi, or near Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah, okay. And what year was that for you?
Oh, geez. That would have been 2006.
Okay. All right, that's my one question so far. I got another one, but I'll let
What
Brian.
events led to urinating on a school wall while maintaining eye contact with a teacher? Were you mad, happy, sad?
Yes. No, I was upset with the teacher because they wouldn't let me go to the bathroom during class.
How old were you?
Oh, I was young. Probably 6 or 7.
That maybe shouldn't make it better, but it makes it better, at least in my eyes. Because, like, picturing, like, a 16-year-old just being like, you know what, Miss Johnson?
100%
I'll tell you
what I was thinking. All right, we got to stop there. No more questions. I mean, this is hard because I really don't. I mean, he went to
this was my favorite one.
He went to a ton of different schools, so that makes it much harder for me to kind of grasp. I do know that he was always trouble.
Thanks, man.
All of those make sense as far as what's true. I don't think it's back to back to back. I don't.
I think that's true. I think that has to be true.
In school suspension, back to back to back. I think eventually they'd have just put him out of school because they didn't want to deal with him anymore. I mean, that's what I would do with him.
I think my vote's gonna fall to the bare knuckle boxing. I think you started something else. Like maybe it was bloody knuckles.
Do you see my nose? Look at my nose.
Your nose looking foolish.
Look how crooked that joint is.
I don't believe it.
I'm gonna go with the in school suspension, and Brian, you going with the other?
I'm going with the fighting ring.
Fighting ring, okay. So Brian is correct.
Man, so
there was a ring, but I wasn't a part of it. I knew about it. It was the high school seniors that were doing that stuff, and I watched like 2 times, but it kept getting broke up by the police, and I just didn't need that kind of heat in my life.
I didn't need that kind of heat in my life. This man just said. Okay.
Yeah, and the in-school suspension, it was 3 times in a row, and it started out because I was in my first of 5 high school. No, I was in my 4th of 5 high schools in my life. And there was some stupid rule that that was a high school that I got into trouble a lot at.
Yeah.
But one of the rules was like something about hoodies. You couldn't wear hoodies or something. And like hoods up, I get, but like hoodies was my thing. And so I had a real big problem with it. And so, so basically I kept getting later and later in school, and I would skip classes and stuff. They sent me to in-school suspension, and in-school suspension was a blank room. And basically you had to write an essay every day that you were in there. I got 3 days to start, and you had to write an essay about why you were there. And so I took the time, instead of writing it about my hoodies and my absentee, my absences from classes, and I wrote a manifesto that my mom was actually really proud of. I wrote like 11 pages or something about the school system and how screwed up it was, and how they put us in to punish us. They put us in a room with like there's nothing, no color, and I can't even work on my homework and my schoolwork, so I'm getting further behind because of the system. And I wrote that essay, and everybody loved it except for the the vice principal who gave me another week,
of course,
of in-school suspension. So I wrote another paper, and that paper was even worse and like a level deeper.
You never know.
And I got it. Yeah. Well, my mom eventually said you need to stop, but she was kind of proud of that first essay I wrote. I don't know if she ever kept it or not, but probably not.
Wow. All right. Well, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who's up next? Who we got?
Old B-Dog.
Oh, is it Brian?
Okay, are we prepared?
We're ready.
All right, here I go. I have never in my life broken a bone. I went to the same school for 14 years of my life. And I have plans in motion right now to turn my childhood into a novel one day.
All right, I'm gonna start the clock. I forgot about that almost. I'm just giving myself unlimited time to ask questions. So you said you're turning your childhood into a novel. Who are you working on that with, like an editor or another writer? Or are you just doing that on your own time?
Doing it on my own.
Okay. And how do you plan on getting that out to people?
Right now, it's just more about writing it because I don't have that much time to write, so I haven't actually pursued actually getting it published, but I have enough of it written that it's in a state that I could pursue it further.
Okay. All right, Justin.
What kind of school do you stay at for 14 years?
It's an all-in-house Christian school that I went to from preschool to 12th grade senior.
Okay. And then 2 years after? No, preschool would be the 2 years before.
Preschool, kindergarten, and then 1 through 12.
Gotcha.
We already established before this podcast started that math was hard tonight for some of us.
Yes.
We won't name names. All right, we're out of time on that. So, I'm going to go with... See, for some reason I think I remember him breaking a bone, and I couldn't remember what it is, and I can't remember when it is, but I feel like he's told me a story about breaking a bone.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be wrong on that, because everything blurs together when you're playing this game, and you don't know what's true anymore. But it's very,
But then look at the look on his face. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you can't trust that look. I've played games with him. He's an excellent liar.
Yeah.
As determined by the 15 minutes it took me to come up with 2 lies or whatever.
Yep.
He's a great liar.
I can also see him writing a book, but knowing how he spends his free time, how much time does he actually have to be writing a book? This man works a lot. He has a family. He plays games. I know he likes YouTube. So is he writing a book?
YouTube is the killer of writing and creative thought.
That's why we're doing this, to kill our own.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yeah, boy.
I'm gonna go with my instinct and say the bone, and I might be disappointed in myself.
Okay, that he never broke a bone. Yeah. My instinct is to go with broken bone as well, because I think all 3 of us are writers of some degree.
Yeah.
14 years of school, I don't want to challenge that because I don't want to end up looking stupid. I've had like more than 20 schools in my life. So I don't know the school system. I don't get it.
I fully believe that because I know where he grew up and I know what kind of school he went to, and I also know what kind of school I went to, so that is totally valid. But I could also see Brian being one of those people who's like, I actually went there for 13 years, not 14, but
and I broke a pinky toe.
All right, I'm still going with broken bone.
I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna go with broken bone as well because I've never broken a bone. So
I have never broken a bone. That is the truth.
He's not writing a book.
I did go to the same school for 14 years. I have not written one word of a novel of my life.
I should have trusted my judgment, not my.
I would love to. I fancy myself a storyteller, an oral storyteller. I like to tell stories. But I took creative writing classes in college, and I thought I was getting like super deep and like the professor was going to love it and stuff. And people just, I don't think I can write. I don't think that's what I'm good at. So I don't write.
Okay.
Well, you are good at storytelling because I don't think any of us have gotten any points off of you yet.
I think I got one, didn't I?
Did you get one? Did you get the music one?
You did. You guys guessed opposite ones on music.
Okay.
And
so I think the 2 of you have points, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't have any points.
It's okay. We're not all. It's not for points, okay? It's just for fun.
It is points. I want to win.
Well, you're not winning.
No one's keeping score until I watch the YouTube video later.
That's right. Well, I think on the YouTube video we should have like down
a counter.
Yeah, a little counter.
Look at my score. I'm in the lead right here.
Video to you to edit.
Yeah, Ben's like, I don't want to do that.
I'm not doing that.
I don't want to edit that.
I'm not editing that. All right, are you guys ready for mine?
Let's go.
All right. So number 1, when I was in high school, I had my glasses broken by a dodgeball. Number 2, so I guess these are all in high school, so there's no point in me saying in high school. Number 2, I once broke a desk by laying on top of it at school. And number 3, I got stuffed in a trash can in high school. So those are my 3. Let me start the clock, and then you guys can ask questions.
This isn't 3 truths. You realize that, right?
Yeah. I do.
All right.
I do. Go ahead, ask your questions. I'll reset your time since you're going to be snarky, and I'll even give you your full minute.
So we used to break desks all the time at my school by sitting on them. I don't know that anybody ever laid on them, but we used to get in trouble for that all the time. What class were you laying on it, and was it like in between periods or during the actual class?
So this was right after, I want to say Spanish class, like sixth hour. And we were about to go, no, it must have been like 7th hour or 8th hour, because we were just about to go to soccer practice. And so we just got done with class, and I'm laying on top of it as a joke to be funny, and it was not funny. And I broke the entire broke the desk, landed on top of it. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't want to. You still have time. Any other questions?
Nope, I've made my decision.
You guys both made your decision?
Dang it. Hold on. Let me think of the other one. Stuffed in a trash can. Butt first or head first?
Head first.
So you were upside down in the trash can?
Yes.
That makes me claustrophobic.
Makes me sad.
What was the first one? I'm trying to remember.
And the other one was that I had my glasses broken by a dodgeball.
I had my glasses broken in so many different ways, I feel like, dude.
If you had glasses in any time during school, they were broken at some point.
Absolutely.
Right, so you're out of time, so make your choice.
I'm going to say it's the trash can thing, and here's why. Okay. Every kid's broken their glasses.
Yep.
Most kids have broken their glasses playing dodgeball or being hit in the face with a ball of some sort.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, you're already a giant. You're a tall guy, but you're also a bigger guy.
Okay.
So I don't think you were put in a trash can.
Okay.
You certainly didn't fit in a trash can. That's for sure.
Brian, what do you think?
Ben's a giant?
I mean,
how tall are you?
Comparative.
I've never seen you in real life. How tall are you?
I don't know, like 5'11".
Okay, we're the same height then.
Okay.
Ben's taller.
Yeah,
not much. He's like 6'1",
like
6'2".
Anybody over 5'11" is a giant.
He's like a giant, a man amongst men.
That's right. That's who he was in the Noah musical.
I'm gonna go with trash can too, because when he first said stuffed in a trash can, I got the visions of that Vine where that kid just jumps in the trash can butt first and just whoop, and then slides away. Going head first, that would be a little bit traumatizing, I feel like. But I think that one's a lie, and I agree. Like, I had glasses, they'd get hit over here, shatter into pieces, get hit right here, break off both sides of your face. I mean, just the worst.
And you just spend the rest of the time like this.
And then you get in trouble from your parents. Like, what were you doing? Well, catching dodgeballs with my face, Mom. Thanks.
Thanks for sending me to school.
Thanks for ruining my day even more than that.
Right, my fault, I guess.
You're both going with the trash can?
Yep.
All right, so that is true. I was stuffed in the trash can. No, it's true.
Point. Oh, shit.
You're wrong. Yeah,
You're wrong.
Dang it. Didn't change. It stayed the same.
You're trying to find the lie, not a true. No, I was stuffed in the trash can. It was like, I want to say sophomore year, and was one of my sister's boyfriends. And fun fact,
one of the many.
Justin, you're I'm not gonna acknowledge that comment. Your hypothesis as to why it wasn't true is completely off, because I didn't hit my growth spurt until the end of my junior year. Mm-hmm. So I was literally like 5'2", like 110 pounds.
I'm still waiting on mine, to be honest with you.
Well, keep waiting. Maybe the Lord will send you. And he was trying to be cool in front of everybody and picked me up and put me in the trash can head first, which inevitably does not make you cool at a Christian school. Just makes you look like a bad person. So
yeah, exactly.
And then
Great success.
The dodgeball one's very obviously true. Everybody who's had glasses have broken their glasses playing some kind of sport. And
you should have gone with the tooth one. That's the one I was waiting for.
And I'm just trying to. Oh, that's too true.
We won't talk about that
that's
one.
Another story, a story time for later. But and then the desk thing, I wasn't laying on top of a desk. In fact, I wasn't even sitting on top of the desk. I got pushed and fell back on one of those. You remember the desks where the front is attached to a metal bar, and then there's the seat, and you just slide into it.
The slide ins, yeah.
I got pushed, and I fell backwards, and I landed on the desk part and smashed the front of it off and ripped like a whole big cut into my arm. And so yeah, that's my lie. I did indeed break a desk, but not by laying on one, because I don't know how you would lay on one of those desks.
I was thinking laying across several of them, like a couple of them.
Yeah,
but
I was just thinking you were a big guy.
Appreciate that, because of course.
Well, but the thing is,
these tiny desks that he was laying on top of.
Those things are crappily made anyway, and they don't fix them at public schools.
They really don't.
And they're not smart or convenient for anything. Like they're bad for lefties. They're bad for everything.
They're not
man.
good desks. I don't think they even use those anymore, do they? I haven't been in a school in
I wouldn't
a
know.
long time. Yeah.
My school that I went to for 14 years had plenty of them.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about it.
I'm sure. Okay, so this is round 3. This is our last round, and we're doing wild card round. So this is, it's up in the air. We could have chosen our own topic. I'm sure these will be unique. I went with a very specific theme, and so I'm going to let Justin kick us off. Let's see if Justin can get 1 point this round.
And
No.
So the wild card round for me, mine are all completely bizarre. But not as weird as my second one, I guess.
Okay.
So the first one, I am deathly afraid of spiders.
Okay.
My second one is my first summer job. I got 8 write-ups in one summer without being fired.
Okay.
I have dyed my hair multiple different colors over the years, including pink.
Okay, let me start a clock. Brian, you have any insights? You want any questions?
My inkling is the first one's a lie. I think he's definitely afraid of snakes, not spiders, but I'm going to quiz other things. Okay. So let's go with the hair color. What was the craziest color other than pink that you think you got your hair to, or was it always natural colors?
Other than pink was probably like neon orange or something.
Let me ask a follow-up question on that. When you got your hair dyed, did you do it like professionally, or was it like in the box style? Okay. And
it was not an adult that did it to me. It was some random sophomores.
Okay. And then the second one was what? Reread the second one.
My first summer job I got 8 write-ups in one summer without being fired.
See, I feel like that one's very specific for a reason, which is he definitely did get fired, but he definitely did get 8 write-ups. But I could be wrong. You have any more questions? We're almost out of our 1 minute.
Let's see. Do you spray your house for spiders and stuff since you're afraid of them, or do you just like let them come in and hope they stay away?
Yeah, well, like we have like the hot shot sprays and stuff, and we go around the perimeter, so like the walls and attic spaces and doors and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like people who are like really that way about spiders, because I'm married to one. Like they get the
You're married to a spider?
Spray. Yeah, it's crazy.
That was a bad joke.
No, she like we have the industrial spray. Like we go around the perimeter and the inside of the house with the spray. Like we're not having a spider in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I think the first one's a lie.
This one's hard, mostly because of the wording. Because I've played video games with this man, and he's afraid of everything. He's startled by all things. So I mean, it could it could be very true. It's not the wording I was going for, but that's what we get. Also, how do you dye a redhead neon orange?
Get orange hair dye.
Yeah, I was gonna say pretty easily. It's a hair color.
Yeah.
The question is, how do you get my hair to neon orange? Because you have to bleach it first to get the color out of it.
I'm gonna go. I'll go with spiders too. It's the wording on that one. It's the deathly afraid. He used very specific wording. So, all right, give us the truth.
The truth is that I am deathly afraid of spiders.
Okay.
I also got 8 write-ups in one summer without being fired. And the lie is that I've never dyed my hair, and it is obscene for a redhead to dye their hair.
Okay, that's what
we are kissed by fire.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Gosh, I'm sorry we asked, or maybe we didn't ask.
You know I don't want the rest of that story. Let's move on. Goodness gracious! All right, Brian.
He became the chosen people. All of a sudden.
That's right.
Golly.
That's right. We will rise up.
Oh. Okay. Let me find my list where I'm reading off of. Okay.
It's a lie. Okay.
It's all
Here
lies.
we go. I'm going to shuffle them now because you told me that. Okay, one of my worst nightmares in life is being so predictable that I have a usual at a restaurant.
Okay.
I keep over 50 unique lists and notes on my phone.
Okay.
And I vividly dream almost every night and keep a dream journal list.
All right. First question. How long have you kept your dream journal diary?
Pretty much all of my life. All of my high school life when I thought my life started getting interesting. But basically all the time.
Justin, you have any questions?
What? Nope, I already know what I'm going with.
Let me ask you another question.
Shoot.
Why are you so afraid of having somebody know you, like having a predicted order?
It's more about I get that feeling of like walking into the sandwich shop and they start making your sandwich before you order it, but then you have to have that awkward conversation of, no, I didn't exactly want that one, but what if I wanted to change it today? Like, I don't like to be predictable in that way. I like to experience new things. In fact, like the way that I pick what I want to eat is what I've had least recently.
Okay. We don't get to ask any more questions, so.
Well, it's convenient
What do you think,
because
Justin?
I've already decided mine. So we already know the man makes lists. He's a list maker.
Yeah.
So that's got to be it.
You don't know that.
Yeah, the worst nightmare about being considered predictable, I think, is not necessarily so much about them giving you something you didn't want, so much as you want your life to be interesting.
Okay. So
I think the dream the dream journal. I don't know.
He changed his whole mind.
Well, because then he said
conclusion, Your Honor.
he says very specifically
Never mind.
that he keeps a dream journal because his life started getting interesting. Maybe it's the lists. I don't know. What's your verdict so far?
I'm gonna 100% hedge all of my bets on the fact that this man does not have a dream journal. And why I'm going to hedge my bets on that is...
It doesn't have a... Did you cut out there? Or did you just say this man doesn't have a dream?
He doesn't have a dream journal. I'm sorry.
He doesn't have a prayer in the world.
I'm hedging all my bets on this man does not have a dream.
We're talking two truths and a lie, not his apex career.
This man is wayward and aimless.
I'm going to go dream journal. And this is why. This is my reasoning. And I may talk you into this again. First of all, he said he doesn't like to write. He doesn't write.
Yep.
Second, I lived with this man on and off for give or take 2 years.
Sounds weird when you say it like that.
And I don't think I ever saw him wake up in the morning, be like, gotta get my dream journal, gotta write.
Yeah, hold on.
I will say, at the time that we were living together on and off, I had cell phones, so I wasn't like scrambling for a dream journal.
I now see why you thought it sounded weird. You're right. We went to college together, and then I moved into his college dorm without them knowing when I moved
There
back.
we go.
And I slept on the floor a lot of times. So, more like I was just hiding in his house without people knowing.
But then I was hiding in your apartment when you and Nick had an apartment. I was just living in your apartment rent free. So
it all evens out. I'm gonna go dream journal. You may have tried to talk me out of it, but I'm gonna go dream journal. What do you think, Justin?
I'm going to be wrong and say it's about the predictability of his orders at restaurants.
Okay. What do we got?
The lie is I do not dream at night. I dream like a blackout drunk.
Yeah.
I do not have vivid dreams at
it.
all.
I'm wrong again.
In fact, I have a list on my phone of dreams because they're so infrequent that I have them. I do write them down, and I have one dream on it.
Oh, shoot. Can you read us the dream? Is it appropriate?
I can't. It's not that interesting, and it only happened.
I don't care, Brian.
It happened in 2019. So my favorite soccer team, Tottenham Hotspur, were playing at my high school that I went to for 14 years. There was a huge crowd in the gym, and the head coach, Mauricio Pochettino, recognized me from the balcony and was pointing at me, and it was great to see me there. And then I remember the classes were teaching Guitar Hero to all the students, and my mom was really upset that they weren't learning anything good. That was a real dream that I had.
I'm going to say that counts as a dream journal.
No, I don't think that counts. Because he said he has been keeping
one
since high school.
I do hate having a regular order, and if people like tell me what I'm going to get, like when we go to a restaurant, if they're like, "Oh, I think you're going to get the turkey sandwich or whatever," I'll be like, "Not now. You're not going to box me in."
Yeah,
and then you don't know my life. What
my brother,
62 notes on my phone.
My older brother refused. Like he'll order first, and if anybody orders the same thing he ordered, he's out. He'll cut and run. He say, "Actually, I'd like to change my order."
That's funny.
I don't know that he does this as an adult, but I am not willing to say that I believe that he doesn't.
Okay.
One of the happiest meals I had, my office was having a Christmas party, and the waitress asked what I wanted, and I handed her the menu, and I said, "Whatever you would order, just get me that." And she ordered everything for me, and it was incredible what she got me. I was like,
a lot of times I'll ask the server, whoever it is, I'll ask what their favorite thing is, and I'll get that because if they believe it wholeheartedly, sure, why not?
All right, are we ready?
Yeah, do yours.
We're ready.
Let's see what you got.
Mine kind of have a theme. Kind of, I guess. So the first one is I once jumped off a 2-story building without having anything to grab on. So I just went full speed running, jumped off a building, 2-story building. Second thing, I got kicked in the collarbone playing soccer, but one of my teammates kicked me in the collarbone. And the third thing is I broke my elbow longboarding on a sidewalk. So I'm going to start the clock. I guess I got to start the clock. And you got your 1 minute.
Was the longboarding in college?
No. No, I mean, it wasn't in college.
So when was it?
So it was like in this weird period of life where I should have been in college, but got kicked out of college and wouldn't be reaccepted. And so I guess technically that kind of answers Brian's question, but it was not in college for me. Maybe someone was in college at that time.
I'm trying to remember if it was a break. I remember the time.
Where were you longboarding to?
We were just longboarding like downtown. It was like 11:30, midnight, maybe even later.
The parking garage nights.
Yeah, parking garage nights, and we were just cruising down the sidewalk.
In Flat, Kansas?
No.
Oklahoma. Oh, okay. How dare you?
Shoot, not Flat.
Let's see, and a parking garage, man. They have levels.
That's a good point.
What position were you playing when you got kicked in the collarbone?
So I played right wing at that time, but we were defending on a corner. So we were just all marking people in the box.
And then what was your first one?
My first one was
jumped off a 2-story building.
Jumped off a 2-story building.
Was this off the? Are we out of time? Was this off the roof or was this off of like out of a window? The 2-story building.
You are out of time, but I will answer. It was off the roof, not out of a window. So that's the last question I can give you.
We used to jump off of that balcony in the dorm that we lived in.
Yeah.
That's good intel. Thank you.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but
I'm just wondering if he ever did, because that's an instant truth right there. Gosh. I mean, like you didn't break your elbow. You know what? I'm going to say it. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
Finally gave him an opportunity where the context of that.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that's so perfect. Gracious. That's so perfect.
This whole podcast has been a setup for that, guys. Well, I gotta go.
For the inside joke nobody will ever understand. Okay, so you broke your elbow playing soccer?
No. Broke my elbow longboarding on the sidewalk.
Mhm.
That's right.
Got kicked in the collarbone by my own teammate playing soccer, and jumped off a 2-story building with nothing to grab onto.
I believe the soccer one, just because like corner kicks are so hectic, especially just at that level. Like, no offense, just everybody's just kind of doing their own thing.
Crazy. There is no sense.
And everybody's jumped off a building.
I'm gonna say the 2-story building. I'm actually gonna say that's the lie.
Okay.
You're going to say that's the lie? You're going to flip the script on me?
I think so. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to get an easy point here.
You're leading me into it.
Easy point, Justin. Easy point.
I feel like you did not break that elbow. I feel like I would have remembered a broken bone.
I feel like the stars have aligned here because it was like a month and a half ago that came up, the I don't care that you broke your elbow thing. I'm going with that. You never broke your elbow.
Okay, so Justin's going with I did not break my elbow, and Brian, what are you going with?
Against my better judgment, I think Justin is right, but I'm story building.
So you're going with a 2-story building. I did not jump off a 2-story building. So you are both wrong. I did not get kicked in the collarbone by my own teammate playing soccer. But in fact, I vividly remember the game where my teammate went up in a corner to do like an overhead kick and kicked one of the opposing players in his collarbone and broke the dude's collarbone. So that's where I came up with the lie.
Question.
Not a good time.
What's an overhead kick? How is that a thing?
So you jump up. This is going to be hard to explain. You jump
Is
up.
it like the cool scorpion kick thing where your legs come out from behind you?
No.
No way! Nobody
You
does that!
You jump up and you kind of do a backflip and kick the ball as it's coming in.
Does that happen a lot?
I mean, people try it a lot. It
For
doesn't-
people who think they're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
I mean, the man broke a guy's collarbone, so you tell me whether it should be tried a lot or not. But no, I did not. I did break my elbow longboarding, and it was the worst thing as far as pain that I can remember because I was going like, when I say I'm going like 2 miles an hour, it was probably less than. I was not going fast at all.
He was just standing on the thing.
My wheels got stuck in one of those big divots in a sidewalk, went straight in and just launched me off the front, and I landed full body on my elbow. And it wasn't painful, and I was like, I'm good, until I went to push up on that arm. Couldn't move my arm anymore, and I was like, oh yeah, I definitely broke something. Like, but I didn't go to the doctors until the next day because that's what you do when you break your elbow.
Right.
No!
Yeah.
That's dumb.
But
So like, you're not allowed to wear pads with longboarding? I don't know how the thing
you
goes.
could, but why would you wear pads when you're going down a sidewalk?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna bust your elbow. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they make elbow pads for a reason.
Never.
I don't remember you having a sling or anything back in the long
I didn't. It's so Nick.
board day.
He just
Nick, this is after you moved. I think this is when you had already moved to Topeka to start that job. Sorry, I'm like out here just telling everybody your business.
Blowing up my spot.
Yeah, bro.
I don't care.
But Nick was still my roommate at that time, and because we couldn't go to the hospital that night, he just took a shirt and made a fake sling on my elbow, and I slept with it on top of my chest. And then I had to wear a sling. I had to wear a sling for 6 weeks because it was a minor break. So they wouldn't give me
such
a cast.
recklessness.
Yeah.
What in the world?
And then
I've never broken a bone.
Same.
Never will.
I've also broken my middle finger on my left hand, and that's a whole different story.
You probably stuck it where you didn't need to.
No,
That's
I was
right.
playing basketball, and
Probably,
then I jumped
probably
off.
flipped somebody the bird.
I jumped off a 2-story building, and that story is not appropriate for the podcast. If we're trying to stay optimistic about life.
Yeah,
I made bad decisions in life and had to make a jump off a 2-story building without anything to grab onto.
And you're still here. That's the optimism. You're
Praise
still
the
here.
Lord.
Look
Praise
at
the
you.
Lord.
You're still breathing. God's air.
Exactly.
Climbing up.
So that was our 2 truths and a lie with our special guest Brian. That was fun. I enjoyed that because I
That's
said
good.
to you
Yeah.
before we started, that was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, Justin had a hard time. We don't want to talk about his point total, but if you watch this back or listen to it, make sure you keep track of who got points.
Keep track at home.
Who did
Your
the
own scoring system.
So who got the most points?
I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't keeping track at all.
I got
too
a
much
couple
stuff
points
going
off of Justin's don't know that I fooled too many though. I think you guys found me out a couple of
I think
times.
Brian might have ended up with the most points because towards the end there, I struggled to get any points off of anybody. I was having a hard time discerning the lie at the end. I started strong and it went very poorly after that. So,
Do you guys have any additional truths or lies that we should, instead of throwing them into the fire, share? Do you have any? Like, I had a couple extra truths that are kind of interesting.
I struggled to get the ones I did, and in fact, the one that I was still trying to figure out that I went to ask my wife about, the dyeing my hair multiple colors one, I made that up after the first round.
yeah, I actually changed my last round because originally it was all for breaking bones, and I had breaking my middle finger playing basketball, breaking my elbow longboarding, and then breaking my middle toe, one of my toes jumping on a trampoline.
The middle toe?
Yeah, the long one.
How do you do that?
Have you never seen? Are we going to get into this at the last end of the podcast? Is what people are going to hear last?
I mean, it's that and
go to Google, look up different feet, and it'll show you this chart of like Greek, Roman, such and such, and it's different styles of how a foot goes. And some people have middle longer toes than their big toes and stuff like that. So you can, it's a whole thing.
Now put those. Oh, you can't put those jokers up there.
Yeah, I mean,
we won't be able to put it on. No, we won't be able to. They'll take it off.
Yeah, they'll take that down. So terms of service and all that.
I got the old Roman feet. All my toes are like the same length, like this.
So you could easily.
Oh, he's a squared up guy. Oh,
yeah. And the reason, and for this is graphic content for anybody who's listening, and I apologize if you don't want, you can stop the podcast now or the YouTube video. The reason I came up with that one is because of my brother, when we were in high school or middle school maybe, decided to jump off the top of a fort onto a trampoline and landed big toe first and didn't break his toe. Much worse, he broke his toenail off. But knowing my brother, Brian can attest, because he's crazy. What did he do? Did he call mom and dad? Nope. Did he go talk to the owner of the trampoline? Nope. Dude walked home 10 blocks with a bloody toe. That's my brother. So, as I said, graphic content, you can turn that off back before the story. But that's how I came up with that one. Anyways, Brian, what did you have? Did you have some interesting ones?
I had an extra, you can guess if this is a truth or a lie. One extra thing I had was, if people ask me what my guilty pleasure for music is, I say it's Hoobastank.
True. 100% true.
No, the reason he says that is so that he can say Hoobastank.
Oh,
no.
Nice.
I like Hoobastank. They're good. I do.
I got a point.
I got a point. It doesn't count. We're out of the game.
Bonus round. And then another fun truth that I had was that my aunt played professional women's basketball before there was a WNBA. She went as high as you could go in like the league and played for the Flying Queens was the name of the team.
Nice.
Kind of cool. Not about me, though.
How high did she get?
Nice.
What? Did you just say how high did she get?
Said how high can she go?
Like jumping?
You didn't mean like
dunking?
Yeah, like
no, he meant
she have like a 5 foot vert. I don't know
the ranking system, not it. How high can she jump?
What do they got? Is she the general or something?
No, that's not.
The CEO of women's basketball.
Again, thank you for joining.
No,
no. We're gonna just cut it here. Thank you for
Is that like
us.
a position?
I'm attempting to stay optimistic, and so we're gonna end here before it all goes out the window. Thank you for joining us, Brian. Thank you for being our special guest on this podcast episode. Pleasure having you.
Not a problem.
I'm sure.
Sorry if I ruined it.
No, I'm sure we'll have Brian back in the future because he's kind of a part of our crew that we normally talk with and interact with. So we'll bring him back for another episode. Maybe we can bring him back for our next top 5 episode, and he can join in on the list of
that'd be good
ratings and talkings because I know he's passionate about movies and lists. So thank you, and we hope to see you again in the future.